Hello everyone, welcome to the 6th episode of this Building a Micronation series. In the last episode we extended the whole city area here. Definitely watch that if you missed it. We still have a lot of problems in the city though. A lot of traffic jams, a lot of garbage that is piling up, and also this whole area here that I don't really like. Actually this area I like here, the rail yard, but this whole area I'm going to get rid of. Like, it just doesn't really look realistic or so. And I think it can do way better. So the first thing we are going to do is this railroad down here, we are going to bring that through a tunnel and get a little bit out of sight, because it takes quite a lot of space. Actually, it doesn't take a lot of space now, but I can place a lot of other things there. So we're just going to put underground so we can put a whole area over the railroad. So first I demolish the whole railroad over here. Then build the tunnel entrances. This is the first one. They're quite tricky to place, so it always takes me a little bit to place them in a good way that they look okay. And I think with this first one, it looks quite nice when we here soften the terrain a little bit. Place some trees around it also, so you don't really see like the rough edges of the tunnel entrance. Then here we are building the second entrance to the tunnel, or the second, just the entrance here on the right side. And the third one. And then I just quickly connect that up to the rest of the railroads. So all the oh, I forgot actually to connect this one. But now all the railroads are connected. That's nice. And my plan now is to build this whole residential area over it. And I'm going to do that in like 3 different levels. So we get like a nice, like, what is it? Stairway kind of looking neighborhood onto the hill. Here you can see it quite well. It's the first terrace on here, the second, and then the third. And then we have this big neighborhood on top of it. On the bottom terrace we're going to build some medium density housing. On the second one, medium density row housing, and the top one is just low density housing. But first we need to demolish this whole neighborhood still over here. Looks way better already. And then I can draw the roads down here on the first terrace. With every terrace I make, I start first with creating these key walls at the bottom. So you really get this like edge every time. And really see when you enter the next terrace. Really get like really get a contrast in the also different areas of this neighborhood, like the high density, medium density and low density part. Then I place down the second terrace already. Also, again, with this key wall here on the side. And I don't place it too far away from the lower level, because the buildings need to like really stick to each other a little bit in this area. I don't want too many trees or open spaces in this neighborhood. At least not in the bottom part of it. And here I thought a nice detail I can place down is this little entrance to the second terrace. First I place down these roads, put some key walls around them, and then at the bottom I made this bridge section, and then slope the terrain so I can easily draw this road to the second terrace. It's a really nice entrance to the second terrace right now. Place down all the roads for the second terrace, and then I start building the third terrace. And also again, starting with the key wall first. And quickly I detail all the roads a little bit. Like here I put down some parking spaces everywhere, because definitely in the first terrace there will be a lot of, high density housing. So probably also a lot of residents that live there, which again also brings a lot of cars into the neighborhood and they need to park somewhere. So we give them plenty of space for that. and then the terrace on top. I also still need to place down all the roads, of course, connect the highway here quickly, and then we still have this part of the old neighborhood we also need to demolish. It's gone, also nice. Way better now it's gone, really didn't like it. And then here, quickly build some more streets for the, little neighborhood center with some more parking. And then this is what we ended up with, and we quickly zone everything. So as I said, in the bottom here, the medium density housing, make that nice and full down there. A lot of people are going to live in this area. Then on the second terrace, the medium density row housing. And on the top terrace, we place down all the low density housing for the more wealthy people to buy a nice house here and have a really nice view over the city. Also place on some commercial zones over here, so we create a few more jobs. And this little, not really a park area, but just like a border to the even more fancy residential area. So we have a little border between the average part and the luxury part of the neighborhood. There's a few more offices and a few more stores to create even more jobs. And then here I'm placing down the palm trees. This really gives a neighborhood also like a, more wealthy vibe or so. And then I quickly fill everything up with trees, so it's not so empty. And then we ended up with something looking like this. And from a distance you can really see that it's way better already than what we had before. It's nicely blending in with the rest of the city. But we still have this area on top here. It's empty now, and I thought, let's build a golf course over here. We don't have that in the city yet. Oh, and then my game crashed, so I quickly restarted it. But here we're going to build a golf course. Actually, I already made a video before how I made a golf course, so definitely watch that one if you're really curious how I do all the details and everything. But for this one, I'm just going to quickly talk you through it. First, place down this 5-star hotel, then a tennis court, and some parking spaces, of course. Connect this area up with a path in between. And here I made a little lake, filled it up with some water. And then I place down all the other paths that lead golfers down to all the holes. And then detail the area up a little bit with these palm trees to also really give it that luxurious vibe. And again, a lot of trees everywhere. I made this little garden over here with some nice details in the middle of it. And even more trees everywhere. And then I start creating all the holes. Actually, I didn't count them in the end anymore to double check, but I think I placed down 18 holes, so it should be quite realistic also. Place down all these patches of grass and sand. That's actually also the part that takes the most time with these golf courses. Placing all these little details. And then everywhere, of course, I need to place the grass surfaces. And some more detailing also at a lot of places with some boulders, more trees everywhere. And this nice luxurious golfer's villa I placed down on the edge of the golf course. Because there's always some rich people that live next to these places and just want to be close to the golf course so they don't have to travel too much. And we got pretty close to completing this whole area already actually. From a distance you can also see the golf course really nicely. I didn't put too many details in there, so let's just keep looking at the distance for now. Also I renamed this neighborhood to Terrace Hill and then the golf course to the Royal Golf Course. And then the only thing I still want to change for this episode is this area on the right over here. I built it earlier because we really needed some extra residents in our city, but also I didn't put too much effort in it, so we're just going to demolish it. It was just something temporarily. Quickly clear the terrain, put down a new road layout over here. It's just going to be a really tiny neighborhood with some low density housing. So I'll zone that. The last thing I'm placing is this car dealership. It's a fancy neighborhood over here, so loads of people that have money for a new car. Perfect place for this dealership. I extended the surface of the building a little to make it blend in even better. Then some trees everywhere to make it less empty. And that's it for today's episode. I want to build way more, but for this neighborhood it's enough now. I hope you liked the video. If so, definitely hit the like button, or even better, subscribe to the channel, because I'm creating a lot more episodes for this series. Thanks a lot for watching, and see you at the next one.